You've seen the headlines, heard the whispers, and read the wildest theories, but have you ever seen the proof? When it comes to Yu Menglong, that answer remains a haunting no. In a digital age where every moment is captured, where every shadow is recorded, how could one of the most talked about stories in Chinese entertainment exist without a single piece of visible evidence? It's the question that's dividing fans, silencing forums, and sending a chill through the entertainment world. Today, we're confronting the elephant in the room, not with assumptions, but with clarity, logic, and the echoes of those closest to him. It began like any other day. Hashtags were trending, dramas were premiering, and the digital world moved in its usual rhythm. Then suddenly, one name broke through the noise: Yu Menglong. Notifications exploded across platforms. Headlines multiplied faster than anyone could process. Yet, for all the noise, there was no image, no clip, no moment captured. Just a wave of confusion and disbelief that rippled across millions of screens. People searched, refreshed, and waited. Nothing appeared. No photos. No footage. Only reposts, quotes, and speculation built from fragments that led nowhere. Then came the silence, not from fans, but from the people who mattered most. Actors who had worked beside him. Co-stars who once praised his quiet professionalism. Singers who had once called him a friend. One by one, they began to post cryptic words. Some shared lines from poems about truth and illusion. Others uploaded black screens with captions that hinted at loss, confusion, and disbelief. And yet, not one of them provided clarity. Not one photo. Not one confirmation that satisfied the public's desperate hunger for understanding. It felt as though everyone was speaking, and no one was saying anything. Weeks passed, but the question refused to fade. Why is there no visual proof? Online analysts began dissecting timelines. Fans studied old interviews for hidden meanings. Even entertainment insiders, usually quiet about sensitive topics, started to admit they were puzzled. Some said it was respect, that his family had chosen to grieve in silence. Others suggested something larger, that his story was being carefully controlled, filtered, or hidden beneath layers of protection. But then, something unexpected happened. A few of his celebrity peers broke formation and began to speak directly. One actress, who once starred alongside Yu Menglong in a romantic drama, posted late at night, "The truth isn't always captured by a camera. Sometimes, it's what you don't see that reveals everything." Another actor, known for his bold opinions, went further: "Not every truth is meant to trend. Some stories are guarded because they mean more than headlines ever could." And just like that, the mystery deepened. Were they protecting his privacy, or protecting a secret? When fans tried to trace the last verified public appearance of Yu Menglong, they discovered something odd. His final posts were calm, ordinary, nothing alarming or out of character. There was no farewell, no sign of turmoil. Only a few thoughtful words about gratitude, art, and patience. It read like the calm before a storm no one saw coming. Then, as if the digital curtain had dropped, everything stopped. No new uploads. No confirmed sightings. Only the growing emptiness of unanswered questions. Across fan groups and social media platforms, emotions ran wild. Some refused to believe the reports at all. Others mourned quietly, holding on to memories of his gentle personality and calm voice. A fan from Thailand wrote, "I don't care what anyone says. Until there's proof, I'll keep believing he's somewhere safe. Maybe not online, but somewhere peaceful." It was more than just grief, it was confusion. A generation raised on proof and pixels suddenly faced a mystery that felt both real and invisible. Experts in digital media weighed in, saying that in this age of cameras and instant uploads, the absence of proof might be the strangest proof of all. How could something so widely discussed, so emotionally charged, exist without any visible trace? Could it be intentional? Could it be part of a controlled narrative crafted to protect privacy, legacy, or something even deeper? Whatever the reason, one truth stands firm: the more people search, the fewer answers they find. In a rare and emotional interview, one of Yu Menglong's closest friends said softly, He was a quiet man who valued his peace more than his fame. If he wanted to disappear from the noise, he would do it completely. He always said, "Silence can say what words cannot." Maybe, this silence is exactly what he wanted. That single quote reshaped the conversation. Maybe the mystery wasn't about hiding something dark, maybe it was about honoring his last wish, to be unseen, but remembered. Slowly, the chaos began to fade. Fans stopped demanding proof and began celebrating memories. Old clips resurfaced of him laughing between scenes, sharing quiet moments with co-stars, or smiling in behind-the-scenes interviews. People began to realize, maybe proof isn't always visual. Maybe it's emotional. Maybe it's in the echoes of what he left behind. So here we are, years later, still asking the same question that started it all. Why was there no visual proof? Maybe because the truest moments in life aren't meant to be filmed. Maybe because his story wasn't supposed to end on a screen, but live on in the hearts of those who felt his art. Because sometimes, the loudest proof of someone's presence is the silence they leave behind. If you've ever lost faith in truth, remember this: not everything worth believing can be seen. Share this story if you believe that legacy is not about proof, but about impact. And let Yu Menglong's silence remind us all, sometimes the most powerful message is the one that speaks without words. They say silence speaks louder than any sound, but in Yu Menglong's case, his silence became a storm that swallowed every answer. After the first wave of confusion, more voices began to rise. Not from fans this time, but from those who had known him for years, people who had seen his quiet brilliance and his quiet pain. An anonymous insider from a production set described him as someone who carried both light and shadow in his heart. He was not the kind of man who chased attention. He valued the simple things, the unseen moments, the calm before the chaos. Those who worked with him said he often disappeared between takes, sitting alone in the corners of the studio, writing small notes in a worn-out journal. No one knew what was in it. Some said it was his ideas for new roles. Others believed it was where he poured his emotions when words failed him. That journal became one of the biggest mysteries after his disappearance. Until this day, no one knows where it went. When fans started demanding proof, hoping someone from the industry would come forward, a few voices did, but what they shared only deepened the mystery. A director who once called Yu Menglong a quiet perfectionist said during a private discussion, "There are things you do not record. There are truths that cameras cannot hold." He paused, then added, "If you ever meet someone who lived his life like poetry, you will understand why some stories are left unfinished." Those words echoed through fan communities. People began to wonder if this was all planned, if Yu Menglong had somehow chosen to vanish at the peak of his career. Was it possible that he wanted to escape the noise, the lights, the endless cycle of attention that fame demands? Could this be his way of reclaiming his peace, one final act of control in a world that records everything? Even now, digital footprints can't seem to agree. Some say they found his last message hidden in an old interview, when he quietly said, "One day, I want to be remembered not for what I show, but for what I leave behind." At the time, no one thought twice about it. But now, those words sound like a whisper from the past, echoing across the digital silence he left behind. Meanwhile, fellow celebrities have continued to honor him in their own subtle ways. During an award ceremony, one actor wore a simple pin shaped like a paper crane, a design known to be Yu Menglong's favorite symbol for peace. No one mentioned his name, but fans noticed. They always do. A few weeks later, another actress posted a single image of a sunset with the caption, "Some stars never fade. They just move where eyes can't follow." It was almost as if everyone was communicating in secret, building an invisible monument through symbols and silence. No headlines, no interviews, just gestures, small, sacred, and unspoken. By now, the internet had turned into a labyrinth of speculation. Some insisted that the lack of proof was proof in itself, that his privacy was being protected by powerful people who respected his wishes. Others believed something deeper had happened, something that the public was never meant to see. But through all the confusion, one truth remained unshakable: no one could find a single visual trace of what really happened. Not one verified image. Not one frame of video. Only stories. Only echoes. Yet, maybe that's where his real legacy lives. Not in the pixels or headlines, but in the emotions he left behind. Because Yu Menglong wasn't just a celebrity. He was an artist who understood the quiet power of emotion. In every role he played, he carried a stillness that drew people in. Even now, that same stillness surrounds his name, haunting yet beautiful, mysterious yet peaceful. Fans have started to turn his absence into art. Digital creators make tribute videos using his old clips, blending his voice with soft piano music and emotional monologues. Others write letters to him, posting them online as if he might somehow read them. And each post, each tribute, seems to say the same thing, that even without proof, even without visibility, Yu Menglong is still here, in the hearts of those who remember. In one of the most emotional moments of recent years, an old co-star broke down during a live fan event. Her voice trembled as she said, "You keep asking for pictures, for confirmation, for evidence. But maybe the truth is already here, in us. Maybe we're the proof he wanted to leave behind." Her words brought the audience to tears. And so, the story continues, not as a solved mystery, but as a living echo. Every new theory, every quiet tribute, every moment of silence shared in his name adds another thread to the invisible tapestry that keeps Yu Menglong's spirit alive. Some say he's gone. Others believe he's watching from afar, smiling at the chaos his silence created. But maybe, just maybe, the real truth is simpler. Maybe he found what every artist secretly dreams of: peace, freedom, and timelessness. Because sometimes the greatest stories are the ones that end in mystery. So if you've watched this far, ask yourself this: do you really need proof to believe in someone's impact? Or is belief itself the proof that they were real, that they mattered, that they still matter? Yu Menglong's story reminds us that the world records everything but understands so little. It teaches us that not all truths need cameras, and not all goodbyes need closure. If his silence could speak, maybe it would say, "Do not search for me in the noise. Find me in the calm." And that is how legends are born. Not with proof, not with visuals, but with the unshakable feeling that they never truly left. If this story moved you, share it. Let others feel what you felt. Because sometimes, the quietest stories are the ones that deserve to be heard the loudest.